Kia ora and welcome back to the channel. I'm Elvie and today we are looking at another watercolour set. This one is by ShinHan. I'm not sure if that's how you pronounce the name here. It is down here. The PWC I'm pretty sure stands for professional watercolours. So I've heard a little bit about them online on YouTube, but I thought I might as well try the set. I bought it on Jackson's. It was 43 New Zealand dollars, so in the reasonable range, and there were lots of different sets you could get. I wanted a different range of colours. I decided with the main colour set B. There's a set A with much more generic like blues mixing reds and yellows and stuff, but this one has an interesting selection if you can see it down here. It might not be focusing, but I have actually already swatched them out. So we'll open the box for you guys and then I'll show you the swatches I've already done and then we'll swatch them again on camera. It's a very strong box, but here they are, all beautiful, and I'll show you what the tubes look like. So these are 15ml tubes, so quite a lot of paint. This is cadmium green light, as it says. It's got the series up here, light fastness and opacity rating up here, and on the back here, I believe, yep, there's the pigment information. So it's got all you need really on the tubes. A lot of paint, which is nice, and I'll show you what the swatches look like. This is the painting we're going to do together, but if I just go back here, I did one painting with it just as a tester, and then I've got a swatch somewhere in this book here of the colours. This is, sorry about the noise, this is straight from the tube, so we're going to do it dry to see what they look like and how they re-wet. This is, yeah, I don't know if you want me to talk about it, but we've got Crimson Lake, which is PR83, Vermilion Hue, which is sorry about that, PO16, Cadmium Green Light, which is mixed pigment, that is PG7 and PY35, Prussian Blue down here, which is PB27, and Yellow Ochre, PY42, and Burnt Umber, PBR7. So that is that, and I set it up here wet, so that's that, and I guess we'll go back to this and we shall swatch them out. Let's do the swatching now. This is on Winsor & Newton's 100% cotton paper, so should be good. And these are, I've dried out the tubes here on the porcelain bench, so it will just be what they look like and how they re-wet. Crimson Lake seems to re-wet very nicely. And then we've got Vermilion Hue. I'm not putting any water on it, so this is just how they re-wet with just water. Got cadmium green over here. We've got Prussian blue. Oh, that's beautiful. Yellow ochre. That one's a little bit more opaque, just like the cadmium. And then the last colour is the burnt umber, which I completely missed the swatch for, but that's alright, that's what they look like. And they re-wet really nicely. Like, I was a little worried, wasn't sure, but no, just as beautiful and vivid as they are without, straight from the tube, so that's fun. So I'll let them dry, and then we've move on to the painting. Okay, and now it's actually dried, which is good, so we'll go over with the second layer of swatching, just to see the build up. I'll grab a bit more than that, just over the top, and as we do the painting together, they'll be dry, so you'll be able to see what they look like all nice and dry. They re-wet so nicely, as I just said a while ago. As you might notice, the lighting has changed. I went for a walk and came back a little bit later than I anticipated, but now the sun's not bright in our eyes, so there is that. I found I've used the set like for one painting, and it was really nice to mix portraits with. So that is something to keep in mind. This is a nice range of colours for portraits. Now we're just going straight into the painting. I've just got a little landscape here because I've got to love a good landscape. I just used the Jackson fine liners for the for the sketch, sorry. Just a staple really. Either that or the uni ball is a pretty good staple as well. But yeah, I mean, rewetting beautifully so far. From what I've gathered, these paints are on the lower end of the artist's grade paints, but they feel amazing to work with so far. And I only have a limited range of the colours with me, so I won't be able to, touch on all of them, like speak for all of them, but these ones have been nice. They were nice to use for the other painting, and really nice at building up layers, which is a bonus. And the cadmium green is quite a interesting colour. I definitely wanted to try that one when I heard it was in the set. So it's pretty exciting stuff. Nice unique range of colours for sure, but it's not so unique that you can't really paint anything with it. Like, it is a cohesive set. You've got a couple different reds, a yellow of sorts, a green of sorts, a brown, and a blue of sorts, which is really nice. And it does mean that you're not like limited too much in what you can paint. I feel like the set's really nice if you want to add it onto a maybe primary set that you've got already, like the Sennelier one you see on the other side of the palette. I've been using that set as well at the moment, just getting used to the colours, and I've done some paintings I'm pretty happy with. They're lovely to use, those Sennelier ones, once you figure out how to layer them, and once you've got good paper. I feel like for all these paints I talk about, one thing that always makes a difference is the paper. Just makes it that much easier to work with and layer up. Anyway, just painting in some trees. This is a very low-key painting, nothing too incredible, but always fun to do little doodles like this. Mixing some fun colours. This is just a view from a walk I went on. I'm so sorry if you can hear the helicopter. It landed and it's probably going to take off again, so hopefully it's not too loud and obnoxious. I'll do a little bit off camera and then we'll get back to it. I thought I'd mention, for mixing a grey, you can get a really nice grey, as I've got here. I just mixed the Crimson Lake, Burnt Umber, and the Prussian Blue together, and I got a really nice deep grey. I'm sure there's other mixtures and variations, but that's been the one I've been using at the moment. And yeah, really nice grey, so yeah, get a good range of colours here. Something I've noticed about these paints, which is just something to keep in mind, and just depending on the things you want to know about, like qualities you want in your watercolour, they're very standard colour, like they don't really granulate. Well, the selection I have here don't really granulate, which is great. Like, it doesn't matter too much. It means they're really easy to use, and they flatten really nicely. They go where you want to go. They don't like flow crazily into each other. There's a little bit of blooming up here you can see, but nothing like core paints at all. So really easy to use. This set's quite a fun one. It's got an interesting range of colours, which really make it interesting to mix with. And yeah, can get some really interesting colours, but you can get your basic colours you might want in a set, in a painting and stuff, so really good mix. And then you've got two opaque colours, which I think is really good. It's a good number. They're not completely opaque, but these two up here, they do tint the line a bit. Light fastness. I think the reds might have a bit of prone to fading, and I think these ones weren't that high, but you know, they're on the lower end of like price wise in the professional range anyway. Although $43 isn't cheap. I think that works out to like $7 a tube, and they're 15 ml paints, which is a lot of watercolour to get through anyway. And yeah, they're really easy to use even once they're dry. Like I've left them to dry for a few days anyway, and they've been so easy to re-wet, it makes such a difference when so it means you don't need to worry about your paints drying and not being able to re-wet them the same, which can be a problem with some watercolours. But yeah, those are just my thoughts at the moment. I will come back to you when the painting is finished, I assume. Another note is that they lift quite easily, except the Prussian blue, but Prussian blue is a staining colour anyway. I discovered that when I was lifting up some paint here and here with the paper towel. It was easy to do, except the Prussian blue's left behind. I'll show you a bit of a close up. Beautiful, the swatches look stunning in the little painting. Nothing too amazing, but you can see where I'm coming from with it. And then I'll show you the painting I did earlier, just so you have another reference point. This one here, which is quite a fun one. I'm quite happy with it. You can see the different tones of the paint, but they layer up really nicely. They do flatten once they dry quite a lot, so they definitely work best in layers, I find. That's when I feel like you get the most out of the paints that way. And then I guess they're really affordable. Like they are, well, maybe not really, but they are affordable for professional paint. Blech. And yeah, I definitely recommend it if you're wanting to try these paints. Give them a go. Especially this selection of colours. It's quite a fun range of colours. If you already have your primary yellows and blues and reds, I think this is a nice one to give a go because you get an interesting selection of colours, but it's not anything too crazy or unexpected, so no granulation, so you won't have to worry about learning how to use granulation effectively in your paintings. You do get the mix of of opaque and sheer, like transparent watercolours, so there is that. And overall, I think it's a really nice set, and you can definitely do a lot with it. I think it'll definitely be most effective used with another set, which I'll be doing with the Sennelier from now on. I was just using the 6 for this painting just to see how they work together, and you can just use them as a set together, but I think it will be much more complete with the primary yellow and blue